Hello there guys, and welcome back to Reborn with Michael. Today I want to talk about the last video you're ever going to need on how to manifest abundance. Firstly, we need to talk about your relationship with money. What is your relationship like? Are you constantly fearful of it? Are you constantly in hustle mode? Are you constantly trying to make something happen? There comes a time when we have to really decide, what is my relationship with money? Today I want to break that down for you. We're going to go into your relationship with money, what it means and how to improve it and start to create from the true divine source. If you like Spirituality Simplified, please consider like, sharing and subscribing. Comment down below. Check out my free Facebook group, The Healing Circle, and me on Instagram. Let's go into it. Money. People always say money is energy, okay? Money is energy. What does that even mean? Money is energy. Well, I started to play around with that idea. What is energy but emotion? So when I started to realize that my emotions towards money were literally the exact thing that was giving it to me or taking it away. Think about it, guys. How many of you get paid at the weekend, go on a blowout and with your friends or buy all this stuff, or when you get it, you just seem to buy things and give it away? A lot of people here don't realize their emotional relationship with money, and they don't feel worthy about money. So the first step that I want to tell you about manifesting more abundance is to recognize your relationship with money. If you notice, this is the big one that changed my life. If you notice that when you go to buy things at the shop and you go to spend money, you get very fearful and tense, this is a wonderful opportunity. Do you notice that you go off on a blowout and then you wake up and feel very anxious that you spent all that money? Another wonderful opportunity, because that moment where you have the emotional reaction towards what you've done with money or what you're about to do with money is the moment where you're going to change and you're going to be able to manifest. You see, because people will always say, how do I live in the end of someone who is very wealthy? How do I live in the end of someone who is that? It's like, well, I've worked with many millionaires and they don't ever think about money. They're not scared of money. They don't worry if it's going to come back or not. So the point being is that emotional reaction is your energetic standpoint of your relationship towards money. And you need to understand that everything in life is a relationship. What's your relationship towards money? What's your relationship towards, love? What's your relationship towards your body and your health? It's going to express. So if you're noticing a lot of fear around money, then what you need to do is you need to start to deal with the fear. So you recognize where that fear comes on the body. So I would be there. I was there, 40 pounds in the bank. I've said this story so many times, 40 pounds in the bank, living in a country, a different country. I'm back in that country again now in a different state of being, but I was living in Spain. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I just had enough of feeling that way. So it's going up to the counter, noticing that you feel very emotionally triggered. Instead of paying in that through that trigger, if you have paid for it, you deal with it afterwards. But if it was up to me, I would sit there. So I started to go to the shop and knew I had to do like 200 euros on a food shop. At this point, obviously, I'd made little bits back, but it was always never enough. So I would just simply notice it. Okay, breathe. I'm not going into the shop until I've let go of this fear. So there will be this underlying fear, but you can feel it physically on the body. You go to it, you breathe and relax, then you let it go. From there, you find this deep sense of inner peace. And that's where you say this line. This is step 2. Say this line to yourself. God is the true source of my supply. All my needs are met now and forever. There is always more than enough. Or you can say, my income is constantly increasing. There is always more money than I could ever spend. I spend it with love. Then what you have to do is then take the final action, which is go and buy that thing with love. And as you pay it, this was the big one. I pay this with love, knowing it comes back to me multiplied in divine order, in divine time. That action alone is going to change your relationship with money. That's the first step to change your relationship with money. It's being able to spend it lovingly. If you look at money like your heart, I love this. We're going to talk about 2 different ways, because I was speaking to a client about this the other day. If you think about it like your heart, if blood is flowing out but not coming in, you've got a problem. But if a lot is coming in but not going out, you've also got a problem. You need to see money as a constant flow of give and receive, give and receive. It's like the waves of the ocean. It comes in and it goes back out, but it comes back in. But what we start to do is we start to say there's more than I would ever need, okay? The next thing though is you have to think about it like air. When you are breathing, you do not expect yourself to have to grasp for air, do you? You do not run over to that corner and say, that corner has more air in it, so I'm going to sit there. You just expect that need to be met. So the only way that we can get into expectancy is to not be so triggered by our emotions. So that first step of noticing your fears and letting them go gives you a chance for clarity. Then affirming lovingly, gently, or effortlessly, or visualizing. We'll finish with the visualization at the end. Once you do that, you are going to feel a sense of relief around money. Once you find peace around it, you start to be able to spend it lovingly. You'll be able to start to receive it lovingly. Let's go to this final step though. Many of us do not realize our worth. There are so many people, even in my own family, extended family, that are worth so much more than they let themselves be. So they'll go for the minimum wage job. They'll never even try for the slightly better wage. They never ask for the promotion. They never think what they could charge. I'll give you an example. I was working with someone who was a trained physiotherapist, had a literal degree, and she was doing triage for £12 an hour. There's nothing wrong with it. Good for her. It needs to be done. Someone needs to do that job, and it's lovely. But she'd come to me to raise her standards of living. So I said to her, how many hours does it take you to earn, 200? She's like, well, let's say 20 hours. Okay, let's think about it. You're a physio. I've been to a physio, and they will charge me £50 for a half an hour consultation. So you would need 2 hours work rather than 20 if you just lived by your own brilliance. If you just even started to accept that you had a skill, that was brilliant. This is the thing. It's a worthiness. It's a fear of even asking for what you're worth. So again, how do you overcome a fear? You have to take an action that makes you frightened. So if you are a solopreneur or if you are an artist, start to charge more, even though it's scary. One of the scariest things I ever did was start to charge my value, but then people said yes, and they say yes over and over and over and over again. Your value is what you decide it to be. So once you've let go of the fear, you start to claim lovingly and boldly, I charge what I'm worth. I'm paid what I'm worth and more. There is always more than enough. See, this is what you need to know. If you're not willing to take a chance, that means you're just stuck in fear. So go back to step one of dealing with the fear. Then the third and final step is you must take action towards that end. Walk as if. What does that mean? It means when you see a wonderful car, you say, that is a wonderful car. I wish all that person all the blessings of life. Let go of all envy towards other success and actually celebrate it, appreciate it, feel good for them, wish them more. Because if you are envious, if you feel like someone has done better than you and you're lackful because of it, you're only going to create more lack. So just start to appreciate the abundance around you. Go to the ocean. Look at the water and say, there is more water on this planet than could ever be used. I could put a literal pump into this ocean and I could never exhaust it. That's the same with wealth. That's the same with the air that you breathe. Stop thinking of it as finite. It is an illusion. Money is just an illusion that man created as a form of exchange. Start to come to the identity that you are worthy of money. Once you have this peace and serenity and you're easy to spend it and you start to charge more, you are going to notice that you start to raise the game. Start to talk. Don't talk with people who are not on that level. Don't talk with people who are always frightened about money. If they are, you notice how it makes you feel. You let it go and you go, not for me. Not for me though. I've always been that way and the way I'm going to be now and forever. When someone's talking about something that I don't like I had someone go to me, well, it's a cost of living crisis. I can't sell any of my products at the moment. I said, well, funny, I haven't experienced that. I'm living in that same crisis, but I have abundance. And this was someone who wanted to work with me. So I said to them, your illusion of it being a crisis is holding you back. Now, I know that there's physical problems. I face them every day too. But once you surrender the fear around money and you take some gentle action towards getting more and you spend it with love and you don't talk about the problems, you are going to start to see it express more and more and more in your life. This I know to be true. I hope you enjoyed this video today, guys. Remember, money is a symbol of your identity. Identify as a wonderful, creative, brilliant person who deserves the best. See you soon. Oh, finally, guys, I am actually got a waiting list for my lifetime access to my learning hub, which has all my online courses and meditations around healing, manifestation, letting go, and abundance. If you're interested, come check it out.